The ancient marble halls of the Galactic Council echoed with tension as 500 representatives from across the universe gathered for an emergency meeting. The massive chamber, carved from asteroids billions of years old, hummed with worried whispers. In the center stood High Chancellor Taiho, his blue skin glowing faintly under the light of 1,000 stars projected on the dome above. "We face an unprecedented threat," Taiho announced, his voice carrying to every corner of the room. "A young species from a small blue planet has developed faster than any civilization in our records." He waved his hand, and a holographic image of Earth appeared before the council members. The planet looked peaceful, beautiful, and completely ordinary. Many council members looked confused. "Do not be fooled by appearances," Taiho continued. "These humans have gone from primitive technology to nuclear weapons in less than 200 years. They have reached their moon in less than 70 years after developing powered flight. Their rate of advancement defies all our models." Elder Soman, representative of the ancient Tordak civilization, rose slowly to her feet. "Why should this concern us? They remain confined to their solar system." Taiho pressed a button, and new images appeared, blueprints for engines and mathematical equations. "Our spies report they are on the verge of discovering faster-than-light travel independently, without our guidance, without understanding our laws or protocols." The chamber erupted in shocked murmurs. No species had ever developed such technology without being found and guided by the Council first. If they enter galactic society unprepared, with their aggressive tendencies and rapid technological growth, they could destabilize thousands of years of peace, Taiho explained. "The prediction matrix gives an 87% chance they will cause interstellar war within 50 years of discovering us." Elder Soman frowned. "You suggest elimination? We haven't enacted the Mercy Protocol in 10,000 years." "I do," Taiho said firmly. "Complete and quiet removal before they discover the wider universe. A painless end." A vote was called. The glow of red lights throughout the chamber showed the decision. Earth would be eliminated. After the meeting, Taiho entered a smaller, darker room where 5 figures waited in the shadows. "The finest assassins in the galaxy," he said, looking at each one. "You have been selected for the most important mission in Council history." He approached the first assassin, a tall woman with silver eyes. "Duna of the Crystal Moons, Master. Of disguise and infiltration. 17 planetary operations, all successful." The second was a smaller woman with completely black eyes. "Minji of the Crimson Nebula, whose telepathic abilities have ended 3 civil wars before they began." The third, a man whose skin seemed to shift and move like flowing water. "Hyun, commander of the nanobots that devoured the armies of the Krell Rebellion." The fourth, an older man whose body occasionally blurred as if he existed in multiple moments at once. "June, who can manipulate how others perceive time itself." Finally, Taiho stopped before a perfectly ordinary-looking man whose calm eyes betrayed no emotion. And Tae Woo, whose record speaks for itself. 27 completed contracts, never failed. Taeho activated a detailed hologram of Earth. "Your mission is simple. This planet must be removed without alerting neighboring star systems. Make it look natural. Disease, environmental collapse, or staged conflict. The Council doesn't care how, as long as no trace leads back to us." Tunta stepped forward. "Chancellor, with respect, why send all 5 of us? Any one of us could handle a pre-FTL civilization." Taiho's expression darkened. "Because something about these humans troubles me. They are unpredictable. They advance in strange leaps rather than logical progression. Our models cannot accurately predict their behavior." He handed each assassin a small crystal containing Earth data. "Study them carefully. You depart separately, spaced 1 month apart. Duna goes first, then Minji, and so on. If we lose contact with any of you, the next will be briefed on what happened." As the assassins left to prepare, Elder Soman approached Taeho privately. 5 assassins for 1 primitive world? This seems excessive." Taeho watched the retreating figures. "Perhaps. But something about these humans, I can't explain it. Better to be certain than sorry." 2 days later, Duna's stealth ship slipped away from Council space, heading toward a small blue planet, whose inhabitants had no idea they had already been sentenced to extinction. Duna's sleek spacecraft slipped silently through Earth's atmosphere, its advanced cloaking technology making it invisible to human radar. She landed in a dense forest, outside Seoul, South Korea, and activated her molecular transformation matrix. Her body shimmered and shifted, rearranging into human form. A woman with shoulder-length black hair and unremarkable features designed to blend perfectly into the local population. She studied her reflection in a small stream, practicing facial expressions. Smiling felt strange. Her species communicated emotions through subtle color changes in their skin, not muscle movements. The Council's data indicated humans relied heavily on facial expressions for communication and trust building. "Remember the mission?" she whispered, to herself. "Infiltrate, analyze, and identify the optimal extinction vector. According to her briefing, a disease would be most efficient, something that appeared natural but spread quickly. The research facility she targeted housed Earth's leading virologists, perfect for gathering biological warfare data. All she needed was access to their samples and research. After walking to the nearest town, Duna used fabricated credentials to secure temporary housing. She spent 3 days observing humans, mimicking their mannerisms, and refining her disguise. Humans were oddly expressive creatures, constantly making sounds, laughing, sighing, humming for no apparent reason. On the 4th day, she approached the research facility. Her credentials, created with technology 5,000 years more advanced than Earth's best security systems, gained her immediate access as a visiting scientist from a prestigious university. Dr. Sunwoo Kim, the facility's security director, greeted her with a warm smile. "Welcome to the Institute. Your references are impressive." Duna returned the smile, careful to show precisely the right amount of teeth. "Thank you for this opportunity. I'm eager to begin." For 2 weeks, she gathered information. The facility's security was simple to bypass after hours. She collected samples of their most dangerous pathogens, analyzing each for potential modification. But something troubled her. Humans were remarkably diverse genetically. Creating a pathogen that would affect all of them would be more challenging than her, briefing suggested. She also discovered unexpected behavioral patterns. Humans seemed to operate on intuition as much as logic. They formed emotional bonds quickly, even with strangers. They asked personal questions, shared meals, and invited each other to social gatherings for no strategic purpose. "Would you like to join us for lunch, Dr. Lee?" a young researcher named Mina asked her on the 17th day. Duna hesitated. Such interactions weren't necessary for her mission, but refusing might draw attention. "Yes, thank you." During lunch, the humans discussed their families, their dreams, music they enjoyed, topics with no scientific value. Yet Duna found herself fascinated by their passionate descriptions of experiences she couldn't comprehend. "Do you have family, Dr. Lee?" Sunwoo asked her. "No," she answered truthfully. Her species reproduced through cellular division. The concept of family was alien to her. Sunwoo's expression changed subtly. "I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone needs someone." That night, as she prepared her daily report to the council, Duna realized Sunwoo was watching her. Not obviously, but there were small signs, security cameras that turned slightly when she passed, guards positioned near her lab more frequently. On day 23, she was analyzing human immune system data when Sunwoo entered her lab alone. "Dr. Lee, may I ask you something?" His voice was pleasant, but his body language suggested tension. "Of course." Duna adjusted her facial muscles to appear relaxed. "You never blink." Duna froze, a critical error in her human simulation. She had forgotten this basic physiological function. Before she could respond, Sunwoo continued. "And yesterday you picked up a coffee mug that had been sitting on a hot plate for 20 minutes. Your hand should have been burned." Duna calculated her options. Kill him and escape? Complete mission parameters another way? "Who are you?" Sunwoo asked, backing toward the door. She moved with inhuman speed, attempting to inject him with a sedative. But Sunwoo had come prepared. He pressed an alarm as security personnel flooded the room. What followed shocked Duna. Instead of fleeing from a clearly superior opponent, the humans attacked her together, coordinating without words. Even when she injured several of them severely, the others didn't retreat. They protected each other at personal risk, a behavior pattern completely absent from her species. As specialized containment equipment immobilized her, Duna managed to send one final incomplete transmission to the Council before her communication device was discovered. Humans unpredictable, intuitive defense mechanisms. They protect others. Then silence. In the Grand Council chamber, High Chancellor Taiho paced nervously. 30 days had passed since Duna's last transmission. The massive star map behind him showed her ship's last known position near Earth, now marked with a pulsing red warning symbol. Impossible, he muttered, reviewing the data again. No pre-FTL civilization had ever captured one of their agents, let alone one of Duna's caliber. She had eliminated 3 space-faring civilizations without detection. Elder Soman approached, quietly. Perhaps we should reconsider this mission. Taiho shook his head firmly. The prediction matrix is clear. If humans reach the stars, they bring chaos. We cannot allow that. He pressed a communication button. Send in Minji. Minutes later, the telepath entered. Where Duna had been tall and imposing, Minji was small with delicate features. Her completely black eyes, the mark of her species' powerful telepathic abilities, scanned the room. You've been briefed on Duna's disappearance? Taiho asked. Yes, Chancellor. Her last transmission was concerning but incomplete. What do you make of it? Minji considered carefully. Her words suggest the humans detected her through intuition, rather than technology. Curious, most species rely on either one or the other. Taiho nodded. Your telepathic abilities give you an advantage Duna lacked. You can sense threats before they materialize. I will not fail, Minji said confidently. No mind can hide secrets from me. 3 days later, Minji's ship departed for Earth. Meanwhile, in an underground facility beneath the South Korean Research Institute, scientists worked around the clock studying their captured visitor. Duna remained silent, refusing to communicate, but her technology and physiology provided valuable insights. Dr. Sunwoo coordinated the research teams. Her communication device emitted a signal unlike anything we've recorded. It appears to use principles of quantum entanglement. Can we replicate it? Asked General Junho, the military liaison. Not yet, but we're learning. Sunwoo pointed to a display showing Duna's molecular structure. Her DNA, if we can call it that, can reconfigure at will. This explains her shape-shifting abilities. The question remains, Junho said grimly. Was she alone? Or are others coming? They received their answer 3 weeks later when sensors detected another cloaked ship entering Earth's atmosphere. Unlike Duna, Minji took no time to study human behavior. She landed in a remote area, assumed human form, and immediately began scanning for telepathic signatures. To her surprise, she detected billions of minds humming with activity, far more complex than the Council's data had indicated. She focused on locating Duna first, following traces of her unique mental pattern to the research facility. As she approached, disguised as a delivery driver, Minji attempted to reach out telepathically to her captured colleague. Instead of finding Duna's mind, she encountered unexpected resistance. Human minds were chaotic, filled with contradictions, emotions, and random thoughts. Their mental noise created natural barriers that diffused her telepathic probes. Inside the facility, Sunwoo suddenly looked up from his work. Something feels wrong. What do you mean? His assistant asked. I don't know, just a feeling. This intuitive reaction surprised Minji, monitoring from outside. How could he sense her subtle mental probe? The humans had no telepathic abilities according to all Council data. She tried a different approach, focusing her powers on a security guard to extract his access codes. Again, she met with strange resistance. The guard's mind jumped randomly between thoughts about his children, a song stuck in his head, and worries about bills. making it nearly impossible to extract coherent information. Frustrated, Minji decided on direct infiltration. Using stolen credentials from her scan attempts, she approached the facility entrance. The security system, however, had been upgraded with technology reverse-engineered from Duna's equipment. Alarms blared as she passed through the scanner. "That's her," Sunwoo shouted, recognizing the telepathic signature they had been monitoring. Security forces surrounded Minji, wearing helmets designed to disrupt telepathic waves, technology they'd developed in just weeks after studying Duna. As they closed in, Minji managed one brief transmission to the council. "Beware, they adapt too quickly." In the council chamber, Taiho received Minji's message with growing alarm. 2 elite assassins lost to a pre-FTL species was unprecedented. "Send Hyun and Jun together," he ordered. "Whatever these humans are, they must be stopped before they discover they're being targeted." Elder Somin's concern deepened. 2 assassins at once? This violates our own protocols. "These humans violate everything we thought we knew," Taiho replied. "The prediction matrix now shows a 95% probability of galactic destabilization if they reach the stars." As Hyun and Jun prepared their ships, Taiho added one final desperate measure. "Alert Taewoo. Tell him to prepare for possible deployment." The council members exchanged worried glances. Deploying all 5 elite assassins for one primitive planet was unheard of. But something about these humans frightened even the ancient Galactic Council. Hyun's ship entered Earth's atmosphere under complete darkness, its hull absorbing all light and radar signals. Unlike the previous assassins, he didn't bother with human disguise. His mission was simpler: release his nanobots into Earth's digital networks and let them do the work. The nanobots were his creation, microscopic machines that could replicate and evolve. Once infiltrating human systems, they would gradually corrupt critical infrastructure, power grids, water treatment, air traffic control, causing cascading failures that would appear as accidents. Panic and chaos would follow, then societal collapse. From his ship hidden in the mountains, Hyun released the first wave of nanobots into a nearby cellular tower. They spread instantly, riding digital signals across networks. Phase 1 initiated, he reported to the council. Infiltration of primitive digital systems proceeding as expected. But within hours, something unexpected happened. The nanobots encountered resistance, not from Earth's security systems, which should have been thousands of years too primitive to detect them, but from new protection algorithms that didn't match any known human technology. In the underground facility now, called First Contact Command, Dr. Sunwoo and his team monitored their networks. After studying Duna and Minji, they had developed rudimentary defenses against alien technology. "The attack pattern is different," Sunwoo observed, watching strange code attempt to penetrate their firewalls. "It's adaptive, almost organic." General Junho nodded. "Just as our captive's technology suggested. Digital weapons that evolve." "Activate the isolated networks," Sunwoo ordered. Following the capture of the first 2 assassins, many critical systems had been deliberately disconnected from the main internet, a paranoid precaution that now proved life-saving. In his ship, Hyun frowned at the data. The humans were countering his nanobots with techniques they couldn't possibly have developed independently. Then he realized they had studied Duna and Minji's technology. "They're learning too quickly," he reported to the council. "They've reverse-engineered aspects of our technology." Across the world, human technicians fought the nanobot invasion. What started as a losing battle slowly turned as they implemented countermeasures based on their captive's technology. They couldn't stop all the nanobots, but they created enough digital barriers to slow the attack. As Hyun prepared a second, more aggressive wave, sensors detected another ship entering Earth's atmosphere. Jun had arrived. Jun's abilities were different. He could manipulate how others perceived time, making seconds feel like hours or hours like seconds. This disorientation would amplify the chaos Hyun's nanobots created. But Jun immediately noticed something concerning. Humans had deployed detection systems around military installations that resembled Duna's scanning technology. They were actively looking for alien ships. Our presence is known, June reported. Previous operatives have been compromised. In response, June targeted Earth's leadership. He positioned his ship above a major government facility and activated his time perception field. Inside the building, officials suddenly felt sluggish, their thoughts moving through molasses as seconds stretched into subjective hours. The effect was devastating, but limited to one location. June frowned. His equipment should have affected a much wider area. Something was interfering with the field. Inside the facility, despite their disorientation, leaders followed protocols developed after the first two alien encounters. Multiple command centers activated worldwide, each capable of independent operation. When one leadership team became incapacitated, three more took over seamlessly. They've built redundancy into everything, June reported with growing concern. They anticipated our attack methods. The humans launched missiles at both alien ships. The weapons were primitive but enhanced with technology adapted from studying Duna and Minji. They couldn't penetrate the ship's defenses completely, but they damaged key systems. Hyun's nanobot control center was hit, causing his digital weapons to lose coordination. June's time perception field generators failed, limiting his ability to disorient human forces. As human military units closed in on both locations, the two assassins made emergency takeoffs, their damaged ships barely reaching orbit. Retreat and regroup, came the Council's order. Return immediately. But Earth's newly developed tracking systems followed them. Missiles with enhanced propulsion systems, another adaptation from alien technology, struck both ships before they could engage their faster-than-light drives. June managed one final transmission. They learned too quickly. They've weaponized our own technology against us. In the council chamber, Taiho watched in disbelief as four elite assassins, beings who had ended entire civilizations, failed against a supposedly primitive species. How is this possible? Elder Soman demanded. They were pre-FTL just months ago. Taiho's expression darkened. They adapt unlike any species we've encountered. The prediction matrix was right. They are dangerous beyond measure. He turned to his communication officer. Send the emergency signal to Taewoo. Full planetary elimination is authorized. The officer swallowed nervously. Taewoo was already dispatched, Chancellor. He left the moment Hyun and June's signals were lost. Taiho nodded grimly. Then may the cosmos help us all if he fails too. Taewoo's ship entered the solar system silently. Unlike the others, he had no intention of landing on Earth. The ship carried a weapon designed to trigger the planet's tectonic plates, causing simultaneous volcanic eruptions across the globe. Earth would destroy itself, leaving no evidence of outside interference. As he approached Mars orbit, Taewoo reviewed the failed missions of his colleagues. 4 elite assassins defeated by a pre-FTL species was unprecedented in galactic history. He would not make their mistakes. No infiltration, no complex plans, just swift, complete elimination from a safe distance. Target acquisition in progress, he reported to the Council. Planetary destruction sequence will begin in 6 hours. On Earth, scientists worked frantically in the First Contact Command Center. Dr. Sunwoo hadn't slept in days. The captured technology from the 4 alien visitors had been integrated into Earth's defense systems, but they knew something worse was coming. The energy signature we're detecting is massive, Sunwoo told General Junho. Whatever's approaching is far more powerful than the previous ships. Junho nodded grimly. How long until our new fleet is ready? 3 hours, maybe 4. We've installed the adapted propulsion systems, but they're untested. In the 3 months since the first alien arrived, humanity had accomplished technological advances that should have taken decades. The reverse-engineered alien technology accelerated their development exponentially. 20 spacecraft now waited, in Earth orbit, hastily constructed with hybrid technology. Commander Ji-hye Park, South Korea's top pilot, led the defense fleet. A former Air Force officer, she had trained on simulator systems designed using the captured alien navigation controls. All ships report ready status, she announced from the lead vessel. But we've never flown beyond lunar orbit. You won't, Be alone. Sun Wu's voice came through the communication system. We've prepared additional support. In the holding cells below First Contact Command, Duna watched as humans entered her room. After months of captivity, she had slowly begun communicating, fascinated by humans' unpredictable nature. When they explained what was coming, she made an unprecedented decision. I will help you, she told Sun Wu. Tae Wu must be stopped. In separate cells, Minji, Hyun, and Jun made similar choices, motivated not by fear but by growing respect for the species that had defeated them. They offered crucial knowledge about Tae Wu's likely weapons and tactics. With their guidance, the Earth fleet launched to intercept Tae Wu before he could reach optimal firing position. In his ship, Tae Wu detected the approaching vessels with surprise. Impossible. They shouldn't have this technology. The Earth fleet surrounded his ship, their movements clumsy but coordinated. When Tae Wu activated his weapons, the Earth vessels employed countermeasures based on Duna's defensive systems. Surrender, came Commander Jihee's transmission. We don't wish to destroy you. Tae Wu laughed. No species had ever captured him, let alone offered mercy. He fired his planet killer weapon toward Earth, but the beam scattered against a planetary shield derived from studying the previous assassin's technology. As Tae Wu prepared his ship's self-destruct sequence, his vessel shuddered. The humans had deployed a device that neutralized his engine core, technology impossible for their civilization to possess independently. When he awoke in captivity on Earth, Tae Wu found himself in a room with his 4 colleagues. What is this? He demanded. The impossible, Duna replied. We've all been defeated by a species that should have been easy to eliminate. General Junho and Dr. Sun Wu entered the room. Why? Tae Wu asked them. Why keep us alive? Any rational species would have executed us immediately. Because we want to understand, Jihye explained, and because we believe even enemies can become allies. This concept was utterly foreign to the Council's philosophy, where threats were eliminated, never reformed. 6 months later, a human delegation arrived at the Galactic Council chamber, escorted by 5 former assassins. The council members froze in shock as their most lethal agents entered alongside the very species they had been sent to destroy. Chancellor Taiho rose shakily to his feet. What is the meaning of this? Ambassador Sun Wu stepped forward. We come with a message from Earth. We offer peace and cooperation, but we will defend ourselves if threatened again. The prediction matrix was both right and wrong, Duna explained to the stunned council. Humans will indeed change the galaxy, not through destruction as you feared, but through a concept your models never accounted for: redemption. As the human delegation presented their terms for joining galactic society, a new era began, one where the galaxy's most feared assassins had failed their mission, but discovered something far more valuable than success.